and verse 11. And it goes to the end of the chapter. So this is a very familiar story. I'll just do some technical things with this. Right, that's good. So this is a really familiar story that I'm sure you all already know. So it's the story of the prodigal son. And Jesus is telling this story to a crowd of Israelites. So in that crowd you've got children and women and men and religious leaders. You've probably got a few Greeks listening and other nationalities. The Jewish culture of that day knew their scriptures really well. And as Jesus started to talk about this story, they began to recognize themselves in the characters within the story. So we have this father who has two sons. And the younger boy says, give me my share of the inheritance. Now, we might not think there's anything wrong with that, but it was significant in their culture. Because what that boy was saying to his father was that I wish you were dead. The boy was saying, I wish you were dead so that I could have my money. Now in their culture, he should have been stoned to death. Because this was a big insult to the father. But that's not what happened. The father gives him his money. Now remember who's listening to this story being told. He gives him the money and the boy goes off and wastes everything. He gets himself hired out to a Gentile. And then famine hits the land. Famine hits the land. And then all the friends that have been happy spending the money disappeared. He is at the bottom of the pit. Even the pig food started to look attractive. And nobody gave him anything. He starts to come up with a plan. Because he knows how the servants are looked after in his father's house.
kubanga omulenzi ono yali amanyi bulungi embeera abakozi mu nnyumba ya kitaawe gye babalabiriramu.
And he starts to think, if I can just get into my father's house as a servant,
kakati ono n'agamba waakiri singa nzirayo mu nnyumba ya kitange ng'omukozi omuddu,
at least I'm going to get fed and they'll look after me.
Kyo kisingako bajja kundabirira bandiise.
And then just maybe I can work my way back up to the family.
Oba singa nzirayo eri amaka gaffe, famire yaffe.
Now the boy is not repentant at this stage.
Kakati omulenzi oyo ku ssaawa eyo yali tannaba kwenenyamu.
All he wants is some food.
Kye yali yeetaaga omulenzi ono yali yeetaaga kyakulya, yeetaaga mmere naye si kwenenya.
So he starts to go home.
Kakati katulabe tutandise olugendo kati tudda waka.
And he has this plan of what he's going to say to his father when he gets there.
Kakati amaze okufuna pulaani mu mutwe gwe kiki kyagenda okugamba taata bw'anaatuuka ewaka.
But the father was looking for him.
Ate nga taata yali amaze ebbanga bangi anoonya omutabanyi ono.
He'd been looking for him since the day he left.
Yatandikirawo okumunoonya olunaku lwennyini omulenzi lwe yava mu maka.
And when he saw him coming down to the village,
Taata bwe yalengera omulenzi ng'akyali wala naye ng'ayingirawo mu kyalo,
he picked up his robes and he ran to greet him.
n'azinga ku lugoye lwe n'adduka okugenda okukima omulenzi.
Now there was something significant about why he did that.
Kakati waliwo ekyamakulu ekiri emabega wa kino lwaki taata yakola bw'atyo.
This Jewish boy had wasted all his money and lost it to Gentiles.
Kati omulenzi ono Omuyudaaya yali yamala okwonoona ebyobugagga bye n'abyonoonera mu bammawanga.
It was another reason for the village to disown him.
Kati ekyo kyali kimala ekyalo kye okuba nga kimwegaana.
When the village saw this boy coming back, what they would have done was perform a ceremony.
Bwegamba ekyalo kino bwe balaba omulenzi ono ng'akola taata we bwe yalaba omulenzi ng'akomawo kyali ateekwa okukola kyokka okumukolera embaga.
This ceremony they would have broken a pot in front of him.
Embaga y'Abayudaaya gye baalikoledde omulenzi ono baalireese ensuwa ne bagyasa mu maaso g'omulenzi ono.
And they would have sent him away from their village and said, we don't want anything to do with him.
Omulenzi baali mugobye ne ku kyalo.
So the fact that the father ran to greet the boy stopped that from happening.
Kati taata yali badde atuluka n'asanga omulenzi eri n'amuyimiriza obutatuuka n'eno.
The fact that he lifted up his robes so he could run was another insult to the father.
Era taata ono okuyimusa ekyambalo kye n'akifunyako okudduka okunoonya omulenzi kyali kivve mu buwangwa bwabwe.
And then what does he do?
Katulabe kiki kye yakola.
He falls on him and he embraces him and kisses him.
Bwe yatuuka awali omulenzi n'amugwa mu kifuba n'amukiisinga n'amwaniriza.
And now the boy starts to rehearse the speech that he had in his head.
Kati omulenzi ono n'atandika okwogera ebirowoozo bye ebyali mu mutwe gwe n'abyogera ne taata we.
And the father stops him and he says to the servants, bring the best robe.
Kale bwe yali annyonnyola ebirowoozo ebyo taata we n'amuyimiza n'agamba saagala kuwulira ebyo n'alagira abakozi baleete ekyambalo.
Put it on him, bring the ring and put it on his hand.
N'agamba muleete ekyambalo mumwambaze n'empeta ku ngalo.
Put the shoes on his feet and let's slaughter the fatted calf.
N'agamba omulenzi ono mumwambaze n'engatto mu bigere bye ate musale n'omwana gw'embuzi.
We have to celebrate because my son who was lost has been found.
Tuteekwa okujaguza kubanga omwana wange yali azaaye kati azaawuse.
He was dead, but now he's alive again.
Yali afudde naye kati afuuse mulamu kati.
Meanwhile, out in the field, the older brother hears what is happening.
Bino byonna byali bigenda mu maaso, omulenzi omukulu ng'ali mu nnimiro n'awulira ebyali bigenda mu maaso.
And he is not happy.
Era bwe yabiwulira tebyamusanyusa.
And also what should have happened in their culture is that it should have been his job to reconcile this boy to the father.
Kakati okusinziira mu buwangwa bw'Abayudaaya, omulenzi ono omukulu ye yalina eddimu ery'okutabaganya omwana oli eyabula ne taata
But all he could do was complain.
naye